Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. If you're a fan of Roblox RPGs and the world of Naruto Shippuden, then you've probably heard of Ninja Time. It's one of those games where you can step into the shoes of a shinobi, mastering powerful ninjutsu and exploring the vibrant, action-packed world. But here's the thing. To truly excel as a shinobi, you need to understand the elements and how they can help you dominate in battle. That's why today we're diving deep into the element tier list of Ninja Time, so you know which elements are worth your time and which ones might need a little extra love. Let's be real, choosing the right element is crucial in Ninja Time, and with so many options, it can get a little overwhelming. But don't worry, I've got you covered. We'll break down the best of the best, the elements that pack a punch, and those that might not be as powerful as they seem at first glance. Whether you're aiming for total domination or just trying to level up your game, this tier list will help you make the best choice for your playstyle. Stick around and let's get started on mastering these elements together. I'm quickly moving on to the video and I'm ranking elements in Ninja Time. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
A very small portion of the audience is subscribed to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like these types of videos. Thanks.
The elements in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Earth element. Alright, let's dive into the Earth element in Ninja Time. And well, it's not the most exciting choice you can make. Sure, it's got some solid defensive abilities, making it a decent pick for boss fights, but let's be real, that's about where the praise ends. When it comes to dealing damage or crowd control, Earth just kinda falls short. You'll find yourself hitting with low damage, just 3 per hit to be exact, so it's not exactly the element to rely on when you need to dish out some serious pain. And don't even get me started on how it feels in the long run. Sure, you can boost it with mastery levels, but even then, it's still pretty weak. Honestly, it's probably one of the worst elements in the game, especially if you're all about big combos and fast kills. If you're just starting out and need something to survive longer in tough fights, it could work, but for anything else, yeah, you're better off exploring other elements. Trust me on this one, Earth is like that backup plan you only turn to when you really have no other options. The elements in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Lightning element. Alright, let's talk about the lightning element. Now, this one's a real treat for those who love a good mix of damage and control. With its ability to dish out solid damage and stun enemies with its electrifying power, it's like a mini thunderstorm in your pocket. The best part? It has some decent AoE potential, so you're not just focusing on one target. If you're in a 1v1, you'll notice that this element can hold its own pretty well, especially with the added bonus of stunning enemies whenever you unleash its electric power. But here's the catch, when it comes to teamfights, it tends to fall short compared to higher tier elements. So while it's fun and effective for smaller engagements, you might want to swap out when things get messy with multiple foes. But let's not get too down on it. The lightning element definitely has its charm, with a base damage of 4 per hit and the ability to electrify your enemies for an extra 2 seconds, it's got some serious shock value. As you master it, you'll see that every hit gets a little stronger with plus 0.7 damage per mastery level, making those little zaps a bit more satisfying. And hey, even though it's only common rarity, you'll find that its passive stun effect can be a lifesaver in tight spots. If you're into quick, impactful battles, the lightning element might just be the spark you need in your arsenal. The elements in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, water element. Alright, let's talk about the water element in Ninja Time. You might think it's all about soaking your enemies, but it's got some unique tricks up its sleeve. While it doesn't quite match the raw DPS power of something like wind, it makes up for it in crowd control. If you're playing as support, this one's your go-to for locking down multiple enemies in team fights. The slow it provides can make all the difference in keeping foes at bay, with a solid 25% slow for 2 extra seconds every time you hit with it. Definitely not the hardest hitter, but it brings great utility. Now, the trade-off here is the damage. You're looking at just 17 base damage, which isn't much, especially in those 1v1 encounters where you'll probably be outgunned. That said, it's an awesome pick for those who like a more strategic, control-heavy playstyle. Every level you invest in Ninjutsu Water User grants you plus 3 power, so it's definitely something to keep in mind as you level up. Bottom line, if you need a team player who excels at hindering the enemy's movement, Water's got your back, but if you're in it for the damage, you might want to look elsewhere. The elements in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, fire element and wind element. Alright, let's dive into some of the elemental powers you can use in Ninja Time. If you're into ninjas, you know how important choosing the right element is. Whether you're looking to deal massive damage or control the battlefield, your choice can make or break your strategy. Let's start by talking about the fire and wind elements, two fan favorites that really bring the heat, pun intended, when used properly. First, let's talk about fire. This element is all about that high damage and explosive potential. You've got incredible range and burst damage, which means when you throw your shurikens, they really pack a punch. Plus, it's got a balanced skill set, so you can easily switch between AoE, area of effect attacks, and focused burst damage depending on what the situation calls for. If you've got a team with buffs from top tier families and clans, especially Red Eye, this element can reach its full potential, melting through your opponents with ease. Now, here's the cool part. Each mastery level you gain makes your fire element even more dangerous. At +1 per mastery level in Ninjutsu Fire, you're seeing a steady increase in damage output. And let's not forget the passive ability. It's not just about hitting hard ones. Fire keeps the damage rolling with an additional 5 damage per second. So while you're juggling other attacks, your enemies will still be feeling that burn long after your shuriken has landed. Base damage starts at 7 per shuriken, and if you've mastered it, it can go way beyond that. Switching gears a bit, let's talk about wind. If you like a mix of offense and defense, then wind is the element you want to add to your arsenal. It's got a nice combo of burst and AoE skills, plus some really solid crowd control. The beauty of wind is that it can dish out high DPS while also breaking through enemy defenses, which is especially useful when you're up against some of those tough legendary or fighter families and clans. You won't just be taking down their health, you'll be weakening them and making it easier for your team to finish the job. Just like fire, wind has its mastery bonuses. For every level you advance in Ninjutsu Wind, you gain an extra plus 2.5 damage, which can stack up pretty quickly and make a huge difference in battles. The base damage for Wind starts at 19, which is already pretty solid. And with all those burst abilities and the added defense break, you'll be tearing through even the toughest of foes. It's the perfect element if you want versatility and raw power. Now, combining these two elements can really change the flow of a fight. Imagine Fire's consistent damage and Wind's ability to control and break enemy defenses working together. It's like having a 2-for-1 combo that hits hard and keeps the enemy off balance. Whether you're a tactician who loves strategy or just someone who wants to see the fireworks, Fire and Wind are fantastic elements to work with. So, there you have it. Fire and Wind are absolute powerhouses in Ninja Time, each bringing their own unique strengths to the table. If you're still deciding which one to master, remember, it all comes down to your playstyle. Do you want to burn your enemies to the ground or whip through the battlefield with speed and control? Either way, both elements will have your back when you need them the most. The elements in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Ice Element. Alright, let's talk about the Ice Element in Ninja Time. Now, if you're into high AoE potential and dealing crazy DPS, this is the element for you. Whether you're going in solo in a 1v1 or tossing hands in a big group fight, Ice Element's got your back. It's like the Swiss Army knife of elements, offering versatility with some serious power. The skills are smooth to aim and have low cooldowns, so you can pretty much spam your way to victory without waiting forever to unleash your next big move. And here's the real kicker. Ice Element's passive. When you land your hits, you freeze enemies and stun them. That means you can keep your foes on ice, literally, giving you the upper hand in both small skirmishes and full-blown battles. The more you level up your mastery, the more needles you get to fire, boosting your damage. It's like stacking up some cold, hard punches. So, in case you're wondering, keep wondering, Ice Element is a legendary rarity, and its base damage starts at 10 per needle. That's some solid damage that will make your enemies think twice before stepping into the fray. If you love the idea of chilling out your enemies while dealing massive hits, Ice Element should definitely be on your radar. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.